Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know this rush hour of March 4, Wednesday. I'm Riza Diaz. Kickstarting today's rush with new names being dragged into the pastillas controversy involving the Immigration Bureau. And at this time, as former Justice Chief Vitaliano Aguirre goes head-to-head with columnist Mon Tulfo, another Tulfo sibling gets raked into the mess. Joe Francisco has a report.
Alam mo yung pinakikinggan ko yung interview ninyo, lumalabas na walang alam itong si Mon. Puro hearsay lang alam niya.
That's former Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre's reaction to columnist Mon Tulfo's claims that he's supposedly protecting those involved in the pastillas bribery scheme. But in an interview with the chiefs here on One News, Tulfo stood by his testimony during the pastillas Senate hearing.
Sinabi niya ni yung whistleblower niya yun na si Alex Chong.
Si Chong.
Sinabi sa akin yan last year pa na ang may pasimuno niyan ay si Justice Secretary, yung former Justice Secretary Aguirre, Vitaliano Aguirre.
In response to Tulfo's insistence,
Wala man lang nagsabi kahit si Mon, hindi man lang niya sinabi kay Chong, hindi ba totoo yan? O kahit sa senador, hindi ba totoo? Ano bang masasabi mo, Chong, doon sa sinasabi ni Mon Tulfo na ikaw ang nag-inform sa kanya? Wala. Dalawa lamang si Mon at si Senator Hontiveros ang nag-mention ng pangalan ko. Pero the whistleblower mo, kahit minsan hindi minensyon ang pangalan ko.
for Aguirre, Tulfo is just getting back at him for refusing to help in his legal cases.
Tinawagan mo ako nang ikay dinimanda ng Iglesia ni Cristo ng mahigit na 74 cases, libel cases, at sinabi mong kung pwede kong i-consolidate, the DOJ Secretary pa ako doon. Gusto mong isa na lamang ang kaso ng Iglesia ni Cristo sapagkat sabi mo sa akin, nahihirapan kang magpalibot-libot sa buong Pilipinas at magastos. So sabi ko, Mon, sandali, okay, tutulungan kita bilang isang kaibigan ko. Tinulungan nga kita kay Claudine ng ikay gulpin eh. Personal ang galit niya sa akin sapagkat hindi ko siya pinagbigyan nun.
But the two old men's exchange did not stop there.
Alam kong ikaw, dinipensa kita nang hindi mo ako binabayaran kahit isang sentimo nang ikay gulpihin ni Raymond Santiago ni Claudine Barreto. Ako ang abogado mo noon at hindi kita siningil. And then kaya ikay nagagalit sa akin sapagkat hindi hindi kita pinagbigyan doon sa request mo bayaan mo muna magsalita ako.
They also discussed the alleged involvement of former Tourism Secretary Wanda Teo, Tulfo's sister.
Oh, ang
Parang kumbaga pinapaliwanag
siya.
Siya yung makulit. So, yun lang ang ginagawa niya.
Totoo, wala sa
Walang mali siya yun?
Walang mali siya yun.
Hindi.
Because visa upon arrival is not bad in itself.
Yeah, so you're not linking her to the pastillas, actually.
No, hindi.
In the end, the two personalities failed to reach common ground.
Be man enough to admit that you were wrong.
Saan ako
Wrong about what?
Saan ako nagkamali?
Yung nagkamali siya na gumawa siya ng scam dyan sa airport. Siya yung nagpasibono sa airport.
Anong legal option niya? I know you've filed more than 30 libel suits against him. Another libel suit.
Another libel suit.
Jovi Francisco, we are One News.
Here are some of the day's biggest stories. President Duterte claims that a U.S. ambassador to the Philippines, Sung Kim, has made attempts to speak to him regarding the scrapped visiting forces agreement. Still, Duterte remained insistent that the military deal with the U.S. is no longer beneficial to the country.
Sila na naman ngayon ang lapit ng lapit. Kaya sabi ko, ulitin ko, how could it be wrong? When can it be wrong? Kung magsabi ako, do not destroy my country because I will kill you.
Duterte, meanwhile, thinks a qualified successor to the presidential seat has yet to emerge from the country's sea of politicians. The chief executive reveals he's scared for the future of the country once he steps down from office.
Wala pa akong nakita na new crop of politicians dito sa ating bayan. Frankly, wala akong nakita. Wala akong nakita na pwede talagang maging presidente. Alam mo, sa totoo lang, presidente ka, hindi ka marunong pumatay at takot ka mamatay, ay huwag ka na mag-presidente. Walang mangyari sa bayan.
Over in the Senate, more alarms are being sounded in illegal Chinese workers in the POGO industry. On top of the money laundering and tax evasion, some senators are saying that Chinese syndicates are even engaging in identity theft.
Anong araw pa ginagawa ng mga Taiwanese nung araw? Well, namatay si ganito, kasing edad. Babayaran ko yung civil registrar. Huwag mo na ilagay patayan. Find a survey, nasaan sila? Kukunin natin, pag ako nag-hearing, kukunin ko lahat. Ilan ang pumasok, nasaan sila? Ilan nag-overstaying? Yung kanilang identity, nag-assume na sila. Yung birth certificate doon sa kanila na yan.
Results from the latest SWS survey showed an improvement on the net satisfaction rating of some government officials. Among them are Vice President Leni Robredo, Senate President Tito Soto, and House Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano. Malacanang chimed in congratulating the officials for the improved rating.
Pwede ibig sabihin, ang pananaw ng mga natanungan, nakita nila na mag-i-improve yung performance ng mga taong yun. Good for them.
Now here are the latest on the coronavirus outbreak. Suspected cases of the COVID-19 in the Philippines remains at 23 with over 600 patients already sent home. The health department also confirmed that all of the Koreans in the country with a travel history to Daegu have been located in Cebu. That's after the interagency task force decided to allow Filipinos to travel to South Korea with the exception of the severely hit North Gyeongsang province. Now, authorities are also preparing for repatriate around 200 Filipinos in Macau, which includes 48 OFWs via 2 commissioned flights. But in Singapore, a third OFW tested positive for COVID-19. She is now in isolation and is receiving treatment at a local hospital. As it stands, the number of confirmed cases of COVID-19 is nearing 91,000. 3,110 of them have already died. The two largest political parties in the House of Representatives have thrown their support for the incumbent Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano amid the alleged ouster plot against him. Ria Fernandez reports.
Following the House Committee leadership shakeup on Monday, Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano spoke to the biggest parties and coalition of lawmakers in the hopes of ensuring support amid coup rumors.
That the NUP is behind him, sinusuportahan siya. Yung nationalist na party naman is speaking through Deputy Speaker Abu, suportado rin si Speaker, and even Lakas.
But Cayetano also took a swipe at Marinduque Representative Lord Alan Velasco, who he says refused to probe the multi-billion pesos debt of power generators to the Power Sector Assets and Liabilities Management Corporation or PISAM. Velasco chairs the House Energy Committee.
Bakit ang Committee on Public Accounts at Committee on Good Government ang nag-iimbestiga sa 100 billion utang ng mga power producers sa PISAM? Diba? That's his choice. He chose to be energy chair, pero ayaw naman niya i-hearing yung utang sa PISAM.
But Velasco opted to remain silent amid the controversies.
Huwag tayo magsiraan, huwag tayo mag-intrigahan, diba? At huwag kang matatakot na hindi ka magiging speaker. Kasi kung yan talaga gusto ng presidente, he's the head of our coalition, mangyayari yan.
Meanwhile, the palace distanced itself from the changes happening in the lower house.
The president does not really interfere with the intramurals inside Congress. I think whatever controversy it has now, it's being resolved.
Panelo also clarified what Cayetano meant when he said that they will heed the president's words when it comes to the term sharing agreement. He explained that Cayetano said this as a form of respect for the president who helped resolve the speakership battle. For News 5, Ria Fernandez, we are One News.
Now here are the biggest stories from the dailies. President Rodrigo Duterte is giving embattled Immigration Commissioner Jaime Morente a second chance to clean up the mess created by the so-called pastilla scheme. Presidential spokesperson Sal Panelo says Morente has not lost the trust of the chief executive. Despite this, Panelo said Morente is not an exemption from investigations as there are no scared or scarred cows when it comes to corruption, something that President Duterte himself confirmed.
Almost every day, may pinapaalis ako na tao. Sinisikreto ko lang na umalis ka na lang. Today, I think I have to complete the list of officials that I'm going to fire to dismiss from the BID sa Bureau of Immigration.
The Philippine Star reports that PAGCOR is open to shutting down POGOs even at the expense of losing revenues. In an interview with the chiefs, PAGCOR Assistant Vice President Jose Tria said PAGCOR might just ban POGOs should the industry prove too challenging to regulate. Some lawmakers have called for the suspension of POGO activities, with several issues plaguing the industry, including an increase in criminal activities and higher risk to money laundering. This from Pangmasa. Malacanang says the president is satisfied with the way authorities handled Monday's hostage-taking crisis. Spokesperson Sal Panelo said President Duterte is happy that all 30 hostages survived after being released alive. Moving forward, authorities say they will look into the corruption allegations raised by the disgruntled security guard against his former agency. Patricia Mune with the story.
Everything is back to normal at the V-Mall Green Hills Shopping Center, a far cry from Monday's tension-filled drama. The handling of the crisis by authorities had been heavily criticized, but PNP Chief Archie Gamboa said he is satisfied with how the police resolved the situation. While it was risky to allow the suspect to speak before the media, Gamboa said it was all part of the tactical plan.
Nobody died, which is the most important thing.
San Juan City Mayor Francis Zamora said the suspect agreed to leave his grenade behind, but insisted on bringing his firearm in exchange for the release of the hostages.
Yung barel, pwede mong dalhin. Paano kung pasabukin niya na yung opisinang sa puntong iyon? So nag-usap kami ni General at that point, okay, we agreed, okay, just in case, ayaw niya to allow him to bring his firearms.
So it's a judgment call. I'm confident that my snipers could take sa kanya headshot.
So while the suspect, a former security guard at the mall, was able to air his sentiments to the media, it allowed SWAT operatives to take him down. Zamora said the suspect simply wanted to air his grievances against his security agency. The local government said it is looking into his allegations.
I will demand from them a total overhaul of the security systems of the Green Hills Shopping Center. Sapagkat yung hinaing ni Alchi Paray, posibleng hinaing yan ng ibang mga gwardiya na naka-formation kahapon. Kaya nga niya gustong i-formation lahat yun para sang ayunan siya Nung simula pa lang, ang gusto niya magkudeta yung mga gwardiya. Gusto niya na yung mga gwardyang naranasan din yung naranasan niya ay umaklas. Buti na lang hindi pumayag yung ibang mga gwardiya, kaya naging mag-isa na lang siya.
The PNP's Supervisory Office for Security and Investigation Agencies, or SOSHA, has found the licenses of the suspect's agency in order. The NCRPO later revealed that aside from the .45 caliber pistol he carried, the suspect had one live grenade and 3 star apples made to look like grenades. The suspect is detained at the San Juan City Police Station and faces charges of illegal possession of firearms and explosives, serious illegal detention, and frustrated murder. For News 5, Patricia Mangune. We are One News.
Let's fast break now to Sports Rush. Cuban import Leanis Simon carried Cignal to victory over Genetica Ayala in the 2020 PSL Grand Prix in Bacoor City on Tuesday. It was a slow start for the HD Spikers, though, with the Lifesavers winning the first set. But in the end, Simon proved unstoppable, firing 29 points on spikes, which allowed the Cignal to snatch the succeeding 3 sets. In game two, the duo of Kalemao and Lindsay Stalzer was as good as advertised, following F2 to sweep its game against PLDT. Stalzer chipped in 22 points while Mao added 14 markers in the match that lasted barely an hour. Much like Cignal, the cargo mover started off flat in the contest but eventually got the rhythm with a little push from Coach Ramil De Jesus. The force is strong with this one. An 11-year-old amputee from Tallahassee, Florida, has become the first recipient of a custom-made bionic arm inspired by R2-D2 from Star Wars films. Bella Tadlock feels blessed to have her new hero arm from England made through digital scanning and 3D printing. But that's not all. Luke Skywalker himself, Mark Hamill, gave the Star Wars fan a video call expressing how happy he was for the young Padawan.
Give my best to your whole family, and may the Force be with you always.
And that's how today is shaping up to be. Join us again next time for another round of Rush. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.